You are listening to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast.
I'm Nathaniel Crawford.
And I'm Damon Green.
We've helped agents sell over $400 million in new construction since 2020.
And now we're here to skyrocket your sales. Let's build your real estate empire and create the life you deserve.
In this episode, we discuss how to get paid faster and get paid more with new construction by being in the know.
The value of relationships. I found out Panther National and apparently country clubs, they treat their new construction like condos.
Some of them do.
I didn't know that.
Not all of them. Some
never came. Well, the lady said all the ones she worked out at, like in Boca and Palm Beach and all that, she said they're all like 25% up front and then the balance, or they're trying to get to 50-50, but they're, once it's at rescission, 25%, 30%. They're 70-30. I was like, I didn't know that for a single family, and it takes like 18 months to build.
Yeah, but that's not true all the time. No, that's
because
you got to remember on a conventional loan. So, like at Coulter, they require 10% down, whether you're financing or not. If you got 100%,
yeah, they require 25%.
That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't, but they would require 25% even if you had 100% loan. They would require 20. There's no payment schedule. This is how much you got to put down,
and you pay the rest when you're done.
And that's just like buying a regular house. So on condos, it would be 5% today, or maybe 10% today, and then another 10% in 90 days, and then another 10% in another 90 days.
Yeah.
Whereas on the single family stuff, they need all of it when you sign the contract. Now, ain't no payment plan, ain't no nothing. On top of that, we're not giving you a commission as an agent until there's a closing. Whereas the condos will.
But the country club, like this one is, they're giving you 30%.
They're giving you 30% of the commission. See, well, and that's not normal.
So how can we? So what if we talk about? I figured that out because I went and talked to them. Well, I never heard of that before. Like I was. Yeah. You never said anything to me about that.
Because
I didn't know
that's not the case.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying. So that's the exception to the rule. That's not the rule.
Okay. So, but I know this because I went and built a relationship and spoke to them, and they kind of gave us the insight as to
exactly. But that's the foundation of everything we do in real estate is relationships. Like that's the core at its core.
So that's what we need to talk about, man.
We're talking about it right now. This is a whole podcast. This is just our behind the scenes of. So it's a podcast that's behind the scenes podcast. We 5 minutes.
That's the topic. We 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go.
But that's having the relationship with the on-site salesperson, or not just with the on-site salesperson, with the brokerage community at large. Because I've found out about other stuff because I was cool with agents who hit me up and were like, Nate, do you know about this?
Well, this is what happened. So we went to Panther. The cheapest thing out there is $5 million. So really unique build. It's more like a Miami waterfront build. But
shout out to Edmund Lee.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. Shout out to Edmund Lee because Ed, who's with Sotheby's, they gave a presentation to Sotheby's and he was there. So he remembered him. He built the relationship. And then we went in there. Susie went in there. Was it Linda? Yeah, Linda was like, hey, Ed. She's like hugging on him. And then she's like hugging me like she knew me. I'm like, hey. I mean, it's cool because, we all here. But we went all through. And as we're talking, like he's asking questions, we're asking questions, we're touring this amazing. It wasn't even finished yet, but it was beautiful. I can tell. It reminded me of going to like the Bentley building.
Those luxury finishes.
Aquilina, like it was those finishes because that's what I told him. One of the guys sat down. We met the CEO there because he came off the golf course and was going to the bathroom before he walked in. He was like, hey, how you guys doing? We're like, hey. And then Ed, Ed being Ed, was like, looks like you can play golf there. He was like, yeah, I can. It was like, oh, pretty confident. But we didn't realize he was the CEO of the whole course. But we met him, and it was just interesting because I'm like, it reminded me when we sat down at the end, it reminded me of a condo, all the condos we've been in, even the ones like in Tampa, but it was a single family. And then I don't know how we got on it, but I was like, the only folks that I know, the only builders that I know gave you right now money, meaning you get a percentage, 25, 50% of your commission within 30 days to 45 days of dropping the deposit, was condos. That's what I was like, that's why we like condos. we're buying customers. So let's
Yep.
put the ad money out,
You know you're going to get the
and
return.
we recoup it back faster so we can throw it back in there. And they're like, no, we do a 70-30. We're trying to get to 50-50. I'm like, wait a minute. So somebody comes in, drops a 25% deposit. Within 45 days, I get 30% of my commission. She said, yeah, and you get 70% when it closes. I've never heard of that. And then she had said, like, Boca Raton, Palm Beach, West Palm. She said all the country clubs that she's worked at, she's bounced around. Yeah. She said they were like that. I was like, I had no idea. But the only reason I knew, and it's funny now that I sit here and think about this. We talk about relationships. Look at full circle. So I come out here, I say, Nate, me and Sam, let's go to Shooters. I'm gonna call my little cousins. Oh, there's this Ed dude. Reach out to Ed. Edmund had no idea who we were. Barely remember me. We had a conversation. 3 months later, Ed hits me up. Damon, I got my license. We talked about the iconic agent, new construction. Boom. Ed sells multiple millions down in 11,
yep.
Miami. Boom. Then he's doing something for Art Basel because of his relationship there. Because the relationship that started here, but there, full circle. Now Edmund's introducing us to this community.
Yep.
And now we've got more relationships. So it's just
relationships.
It's dope.
Relationships.
Yeah. So, and that's how you're able to find those relationships. Allow you to be able to find out what is going on and things that seem unbelievable. Like tell agents, like, yes, pretty much a 6% commission. You can't get 6%.
Yeah.
Pompano Beach starting at 6%. $300,000, $400,000 condos starting at 6%.
Well, but and that's a product of the relationships, and some of that is just understanding the market.
And yes,
like that's if you're a Palm Beach agent and you don't take the initiative to understand what's going on in Dade County, then you're getting 3%. Why? Because the vast majority of the condos in that market, in the northern market, is not as it's not as much competition. A lot of those single families are paying 3%. You may see that in some places in Atlanta. You might see it in some of the places in Houston or Dallas. Like I would believe that there are going to be developers that are trying to differentiate themselves by saying, hey, we're going to be a little bit more competitive on this commission. And the only way you're going to know that is if you have a relationship with one of those on-site salespeople when they get there, that they hit you up and they're like, hey, Damon, I just came over to this new community out here in East Dallas. You gotta come check this out. Or you meet, another agent that's gonna hit you up and just Chasen's like, hey, Damon, I just sold a unit at XYZ community and they're paying 6%. You gotta come check this out. But if you don't have those relationships, both with on-site sales staff and just within the general community, you're not gonna know that, and you're leaving money on the table. So it's directly affecting your financial goals if you're not, being engaged with your community in general.
Yeah, and you're doing a disservice to your clients because your clients might want something and they're like, oh, I'm a little strapped here, but there's ways that you can work a deal on a new construction, but you're trying to fight all these other losing battles over here, resales, when you could have just went over here and got them what they wanted. But it takes relationships and a little bit of practice. You have to go out there and have an open mind, like, wait, this is
it's a muscle.
Real?
You got to work it. It's a muscle.
Yeah.
And then understanding, like people come to us, people come to Ed, people come to Chasten, like whoever, just people in your universe, being able to pour into people and they pour into you. That exchange of information and access is where the magic happens.
Yeah, like even we talk about relationships, like people have referred. I know Rob Brent sent one of his Yankees clients. You guys were talking. Earl sent some like iconic agents within the community because it's a pretty dope community of really smart people that are willing to share and give. And I know like Daryl and Sharon, Daryl's in Cape Coral, Sharon's in Winter Garden. They did some deals. He came to me and said, hey, I need somebody that you trust that's in the program that's going to take care of my client. Can you refer me to somebody in the Orlando area? I was like, Sharon. Boom. Yep. They fell in love with each other. They were awesome. They were like, oh, he's so great. And they got the deals done. Everybody got paid. So those relationships go beyond, just that.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, your focus and pipeline and engagement and education help you to build the business. By far and away, your relationships will help you maintain it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Iconic Agent New Construction Marketing Podcast for Realtors. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast player. Visit theiconicagent.com and grab the new construction buyer traction blueprint. And don't forget, join the 5,000 plus strong new construction marketing community at www.theiconicagent.com/community. Catch you on the next episode.